There are 3 sidras in the Torah that deal specifically with the commandments, mitzvot, governing the societal life of Israel, all rooted first and foremost in love and awe, yirah, of Hashem. These are last week's Re'eh, this week's Shoftim, and next week's Kiseitzai. Re'eh focused on the centralization of worship, ensuring that Israel's love and reverence for Hashem found expression in one designated place, unifying the nation in service. Shoftim shifts the focus from worship to governance, the establishment of righteous courts throughout the land. Each tribe was to have its own Sanhedrin or high court as part of a broader judicial system covering the entire nation, city by city. The Torah commands, "Judges and officers shall you appoint, and they shall judge the people with righteous judgment." Devarim 16:18. The standard for these courts was not simply fairness as the world defines it, but tzedek, righteousness rooted in the Torah's eternal principles. The judges had to be deeply learned in the Torah's laws, applying them with clarity and discernment. Their rulings were binding. To enforce these rulings, Moshe commands the appointment of shotrim, or officers of the court, the ancient equivalent of law enforcement. As the Rambam notes, these were not thugs with clubs, but officials tasked with ensuring justice was implemented, a police force whose authority came from the Torah itself. And then comes the Torah's rallying cry, tzedek, tzedek tirdof, justice, justice you shall pursue, chapter 16, verse 20. Rashi comments that this double emphasis teaches that justice must be pursued not only in ends but in means. Both the process and the outcome must be righteous. The Sidra then returns to the theme of Re'eh with a prohibition against planting Asherah trees near the altar and erecting matzevot, stone pillars. These were practices borrowed from Canaanite and pagan worship. The Or HaKaim warns that even small compromises in worship open the door to idolatry and eventually corrupt the nation's moral fabric. From here, the Torah lays down the death penalty for idol worshippers, not for theological disagreement, but because idolatry is seen as spiritual treason against the King of Kings. We then encounter the case of the Zaken Mamre, the rebellious elder, Devarim 17 verses 8 through 13. This is a member of the Sanhedrin who openly defies the court's ruling. The Talmud, in Sanhedrin 86b, explains that such rebellion threatens the entire judicial system. If judges contradict each other publicly, the nation's respect for law disintegrates. The Or HaKaim adds that Hashem itself ensures such elders are punished to protect the unity of Torah interpretation. In Sanhedrin 20b, our sages of blessed memory teach that Israel was given 3 commandments upon entering the land: to appoint a king, to eliminate the offspring of Amalek, and to build the Beit HaMikdash, the temple. Shoftim details the laws for appointing a king, including limits on his power. He may not multiply horses, wives, or excessive wealth, and he must write his own Sefer Torah and read from it daily to keep his heart humble before Hashem. Amazingly, the builder of the first temple, King Shlomo, Solomon, ignored these admonitions by vastly adding to his stables, harems, and bank account. We can perhaps now understand that by the end of his life, he gives us the words found in Kohelet, Ecclesiastes. In chapter 18, Moshe turns the attention to the Kohanim and Levites, who have no territorial inheritance. Instead, they are sustained by the people's gifts, the terumot and portions from offerings. This arrangement ensured that those serving in the Mikdash were free from the distractions of land ownership, dedicating themselves fully to spiritual service. Next, the Sidra describes the Arei Miklat, or the cities of refuge for those who killed unintentionally. These protected the manslayer from the Goel Hadam, avenger of blood, until trial. The Torah's concern here is striking. Justice must protect the presumed innocent even amid strong passions for vengeance. The section here on conspiring witnesses, Edom Zomimim, is expanded in Sanhedrin 27a. It establishes that if witnesses are found to have lied in order to convict someone, they receive the exact punishment they sought for the accused. Perhaps a fellow Jew such as Adam Schiff should have considered this in Torah before making his false claims for political gain. Just saying. This is more than deterrence. It's the Torah's insistence on moral symmetry in justice. If you think rules of behavior in war were first created in Western societies such as the United States of America, then think again. Israel was the first nation to actually prescribe the laws concerning warfare here in Shoftim. When Israel goes to war, the Torah gives rules that would make modern military ethicists pause. Before attacking, the army must first offer terms of peace. See chapter 20, verse 10. Also, certain men are exempt from battle, for instance. Those who have built a new home but not lived in it, planted a vineyard but not enjoyed its fruit, betrothed a wife but not yet consummated the marriage, or those who are simply too afraid. The Torah recognizes human limits and refuses to sacrifice morale for numbers. Even in warfare, the environment is protected. As an example, fruit trees are not to be destroyed, Baal Tashchit, because war is against people, not all creation itself. Finally, chapter 21 addresses the Egla Arufa ritual, a communal atonement for an unsolved murder. After a ritual of heifer sacrifice, the elders of the nearest city publicly declare they had no part in the crime. This isn't just a legal procedure, it's national soul-searching. The message is clear. In Israel, blood guilt stains the entire community until properly addressed. Shoftim, then, is not just about judges and courts. It is the blueprint for a society where worship, law, morality, and even warfare are conducted under the gaze of Hashem. From the gates of justice to the battlefield, from the king's throne to the priest's table and the lowliest shack, every corner of the nation's life is anchored in tzedek, justice shaped by Torah. Thank you for watching this video or reading the essay. All my videos and writings can be found on Rumble, YouTube, Locals, Substack, and Blogger. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share with others so they too can benefit from Hashem's Torah just as we do. Until next time, this is Shmuel ben Shlomi wishing you Shabbat Shalom.